Imagine this, a legendary battlefield. Two colossal armies are staring each other down, ready for war. And right in the middle of it all is a warrior, Arjuna, who is about to face the single hardest choice of his life. A choice that isn't just about winning a battle, but about the very nature of his soul. And that really brings us to the core question of this entire ancient text. What if doing the right thing, fulfilling your most sacred duty, meant you had to destroy the very people you love? It's a conflict that honestly goes way beyond any battlefield. So let's meet our hero. This is Arjuna, the greatest archer of his time. He asks his charioteer, who just so happens to be the divine Lord Krishna, to drive him out into the no-man's land between the two armies. He wants to see who he's up against, and what he sees just completely shatters him. The enemy army? It's filled with his own family, his grandfathers, his teachers, his cousins, his friends. And you can just feel the raw, physical power of his despair in these words. This isn't some abstract intellectual problem for him. His body is literally rebelling against the idea. He's describing a total, systemic collapse. He's shaking, his mouth is dry, his legendary bow is literally slipping from his hands. He is just overwhelmed. So this is the impossible choice that's tearing him apart. On one side, you have his dharma, his sacred duty, his purpose as a warrior to fight for what's right. And on the other side is his family. How can he possibly bring himself to kill the very people who raised him, who taught him everything he knows? And finally, he just breaks. Defeated by it all, Arjuna throws down his weapons and tells Krishna his final decision, "I shall not fight." He just gives up. Now, you'd probably expect Krishna to give him a pat on the back, offer some simple comfort, but he does the exact opposite. What comes next is this profound, totally mind-bending lesson designed to flip Arjuna's entire perspective on life, death, and reality itself. This is Krishna's opening line, and it's a stunner. He doesn't say, "I get it, it's tough." Nope, he goes right to the root of the problem and challenges the very foundation of Arjuna's grief. He's basically saying, the reason you're suffering is because you have fundamentally misunderstood what it means to be alive. And this is where Krishna introduces the core concept of the whole conversation, the Atman, or the true self, the soul. He explains that our real identity isn't this physical body that we walk around in. No, inside every single one of us is a soul that is eternal, that can't be destroyed, and that is totally separate from the flesh and blood it inhabits. To make this crystal clear, Krishna uses this really powerful analogy. He says that when a body dies, the soul simply moves on to another one, just like we take off old clothes and put on new ones. So the physical death that Arjuna is so afraid of, it's not the end. The real person, the soul, can never, ever be killed. Okay, so after laying down this deep philosophical foundation, Krishna gets practical. He gives Arjuna a roadmap for how to act in the world, how to do what you need to do without creating more suffering. This is where the big ideas get turned into a real, livable practice. He calls this path karma yoga, and it's not about avoiding action, not at all. It's about changing the mindset behind your actions. The secret is to perform your duty, whatever it is, with your whole heart, but to completely let go of any attachment to the outcome. You have a right to your work, but not to the fruits of your work. And this really shows you the critical difference. When our actions are all about ego, desire, wanting a specific result, we get stuck on this emotional roller coaster, right? We're happy if we win, miserable if we lose. That's where Arjuna is. But when we act just out of a sense of duty, without worrying about the results, that very same action leads to inner peace. It actually becomes a way to find freedom. Let's use a really simple example to see how this works. Think about the act of giving charity. Well, if you give simply because it's your duty, without expecting anything back, that's action in the mode of goodness. If you give but you're hoping for some personal gain, or you're doing it grudgingly, that's passion. And if you give disrespectfully to the wrong person at the wrong time, that's ignorance. The action is the same, giving, but the inner state changes everything. So after hearing all of this, Arjuna is intellectually convinced he gets it. But now he wants to see it. He wants to witness this truth for himself, and his request leads to the absolute climax of the entire text, something spectacular and, frankly, terrifying. Arjuna asks Krishna to reveal his true, all-encompassing cosmic form. He wants to see the form that contains the entire universe. He's heard the theory. Now he's asking for the direct experience. Krishna agrees. But he explains that Arjuna can't see this with his normal human eyes. It's just too much. So he grants him a special divine sight, an ability to perceive a reality that is completely beyond what our normal senses can handle. And what Arjuna sees is just beyond comprehension. A single being with infinite mouths, infinite eyes, stretching in every direction, holding all of time and space within itself.
The light coming off this form is blindingly brilliant, more radiant than 1,000 suns, all exploding at once in the sky. The power is almost unbearable.
And then the vision turns horrifying. He sees all the warriors from both armies, his friends, and his family, rushing helplessly into the fiery mouths of this cosmic being, just being crushed and devoured. And in that moment of absolute terror, Krishna reveals the whole point of the vision. He declares, "I am time, the great destroyer of worlds." He shows Arjuna that the fate of all these warriors is already sealed by a divine plan. In a way, they've already been slain by destiny. Arjuna's role isn't to be the killer. It's to simply be an instrument in this grand cosmic design. Well, after witnessing this profound, terrifying truth, all of Arjuna's confusion, all of his doubt, it just vanishes. The massive burden of being the doer, the killer, is lifted from his shoulders, and now he's ready for Krishna's final instruction. And this is the ultimate secret. Krishna tells him, "Forget all the other rules and duties. Just surrender to me. I will personally free you from all consequences. Do not fear." It's the ultimate path to freedom. And with that, the transformation is complete. The warrior who was a crumpled mess, paralyzed by grief, now stands firm. His delusion is gone. He declares that he's free from doubt and ready to act, ready to do what needs to be done. And so, the Gita leaves us with this timeless question. For Arjuna, the answer was found by connecting to a higher truth, a purpose far beyond his own personal feelings. So for us, in our own lives, when our duties and our emotions are at war with each other, what do we turn to for guidance? What guides your action?